before Codename Kids Next Door, I was obsessed with the Powerpuff Girls. And that's another one I watched so much, had the merchandise. I've never seen anything that looks like the Powerpuff Girls, which apparently exists because Craig McCracken couldn't stand Sailor Moon and wanted to make fun of it. Namely by upping the violence and making the female superheroes really, really young. It's supposed to be called Whoop-Ass Stew. That's really funny. So I really, really enjoyed the characters. My favorite was Blossom because she was the smart one, the leader. I felt like she did the less fun parts of the job, but she was always the one who was the most capable, and I liked characters like that. Then I thought their villains were really funny and creative. The two that really stand out are Mojo Jojo because of the way he talks and that giant brain he has, but he's also pathetic. It's also funny. And him, because he's so intimidating, but so beautiful at the same time. I wanted that outfit. Now that cosplay's more of a thing, I could probably get that commissioned if I ever get enough money. Interestingly enough, with the Powerpuff Girls, that for a lot of shows, there wasn't really a boy show, girl show thing. Most of those shows were really geared towards a gender-neutral audience. But I still thought of Powerpuff Girls, at least as a little kid, as, oh, this is what a girl's show is like. Yay. And for me, I was someone who was a little angrier and more aggressive than other girls. And much more quick to anger, and I liked seeing that in there. I liked the anger, I liked the violence. I liked the aggression, that they were aggressive and it was fun. And energizing, crazy, all that good stuff. Turns out, I learned years later that a lot of boys watched the show. Then I rewatched it when I was older, and I saw tons of references to The Big Lebowski, tons of innuendo and jokes that went over my head. I thought, now that makes sense. Now I get why boys liked it. But I also really like that the Powerpuff Girls is also an unapologetically feminine show. It is girly. It embraces that, which is cool to see. I mean, I see a lot of people mostly on the internet crapping on either femininity or masculinity, and you really do need both. Neither one is inherently bad, but unfortunately we do treat it like it is. Just learn more the balance, and being exclusively one or the other can limit you. And I thought Powerpuff Girls had a really fun, unique energy to it, and it really balanced that out really, really well and in a fun, creative way. So I liked seeing where they went with it, too. I remember for a long time, I watched the show when it was coming out. I remember asking for a long time, oh, are there Powerpuff Boys? And then the Rowdy Rough Boys became a thing, which is cool to see. I liked seeing their counterparts. I'm sure that led to a lot of, people love gender-swapping characters, which is fun to see, and I like when the show takes advantage of those opportunities. It's a good show, and I know that animation style is a little simple by today's standards, but it is so unique. I mean, 90s animation, now that I've noticed, has a very distinct look to it. I can't quite describe it. I've noticed the backgrounds are a lot simpler in older shows, at least from that time. And I've noticed that the shapes of the characters have gotten a lot simpler, but they were a lot simpler. They seem to become a lot more detailed nowadays. It's not a bad thing or anything, it's just something I am noticing that. So it's cool to have that variety out there. There's a lot of good shows to revisit, a lot of good stuff coming out. I actually have not seen the Powerpuff Girls reboot, and while I hear it's not quite true to the spirit of the original, it does have some messages that are really appropriate for a modern audience, which is great to see. I might check out an episode or two, just compare, contrast. I mean, I'm biased toward the old, but hey, if stuff's getting a reboot, it's possible that it can be updated and fit a modern audience. Yeah. Not really going anywhere with that, but I'm curious. It's a show I liked, show that stuck with me. And it had some really cool people behind it. Interesting enough, I haven't seen Wander Over Yonder. I've seen My Little Pony. And I like the people behind these shows. I like Craig McCracken and I like Lauren Faust a lot, and I like that team. They all seem like really chill people who have a lot of passion. And I can respect passion.